In 1787, the Constitution promised equality for all Americans, but at the opening of the 20th century, nothing could have been further from the truth. Women possessed no political rights, and blacks were free in word only. However, the nation's greatest inequality paid no attention to race or gender. It lay in economics, in the conflict between capitalists and labor. American workers had formed trade unions as early as Jackson's presidency, but they had little power to effect change. Then, in the 1880s, unions such as the United Mine Workers arose in the eastern coal fields as a counterbalance to the power of the mine owners and operators. In the 1890s, unions began agitating for better working conditions throughout the country. Their weapon was the strike, a refusal to work until their demands were heard and met. Strikes at first were viewed as criminal and brought harsh responses not only from the factory owners but state and federal authorities. The Homestead Strike in 1892 pitted steel workers against Pinkerton detectives and the state militia. Eventually the strike ended with the union smashed. But in 1902, a remarkable event happened that changed the face of labor and industry for the 20th century. At that time, coal was the lifeblood of the country. It powered the railroads. It fueled the country's factories. And most importantly, it heated the homes of the country's families. So when in the spring, the United Mine Workers, led by John Mitchell, went out on strike, the nation knew that something would have to be done before the next winter. As the price of coal skyrocketed to the consumer, labor called for mediation. The owners refused and chose to break the union. They insisted that President Roosevelt issue an injunction against the union and use the army to end the strike. But the callous attitude of the owners shifted the sympathy of the country to the union. Roosevelt, provoked by the owners' arrogance and stupidity, informed them that he was prepared to use troops to dispossess them of their property and produce coal. When the owners realized that Roosevelt was serious, they relented. By March 1903, a Roosevelt Commission awarded labor a 10-cent raise in wages and reduced the working day to 9 hours. The significance of Roosevelt's actions was enormous. With his intervention, Roosevelt allied himself with labor against the behavior of industrialists like Rockefeller and Morgan, whom he later indicted as the malefactors of great wealth. The road for workers over the next 100 years was far from smooth. But Roosevelt served notice that from 1902 on, labor would play a major role in the political life of the country.